Hello, welcome back once again. We are just in the process of pushing our work to the GitHub repository now. Remember we tried to do it in the previous video, but for some reason our push message was not going through. So right now, my friend, we are just here. We want to commit this message straight to our GitHub repository so that we have it in our GitHub. My friend, to do that, we need to go to GitHub and grab that link that we had previously and connect it to our local GitHub repository. We have done that. We need to establish the connection to make sure that our repository is still connected to our Git repository. This is a local repository I'm sitting on right now. So to establish the connection, you type git remote -v. My friend, as you can see, we are now connected to our Git repository. So now we are ready to push our work. Everything is up to date. So we have pushed everything to our Git repository previously, and as we can see, Git is telling us that everything is up to date. So let us go to our Git repository and check. Yes, my friend, as you can see, some JSS is there, the work that we have done in our computer. We have our website code is there as well. You can see here the website code is there. This is our first commit actually. So when you go to some Git tutorial, you can see the commit message is there, and the version that we have committed is also there. You can see the name of the committer. Remember when we set up our Git system, remember I configured the name to be Samu. This is our first version, and the line of code is there, 135. And my friend, this is how our system is looking like at the moment. One commit. So we have done our first commit, and let us go to our working directory and check. Let's do git log to see what is there. So git log first commit to the origin main. We have this one is showing our local repository, and this is showing our global repository. So our local repository, this one is linked straight to the global repository, which is GitHub repository. So now we are in that mode. We have local repository as well as GitHub repository, such that when we have done something locally, we just push them to the GitHub repository to keep the copy there, or to share the copy with others so that others can pull or fetch what we have pushed, so that they can work on it and do some changes that they would like to do for us to work together in a team. So my friend, that's how to work with Git, my friend. Now let us go back to our local repository and start going through the same thing over and over again, because I want you to get used to this Git, my friend. So we are going back to our Git environment. Right now we need to start configuring this Git from the staging mode up to the point where we will commit them to be kept in the history. So let us go to the now we are going to start walking through all these once again. So we have done the configuration of the working and configuration environment, where we configure our user ID. We did this actually by going to the global configuration mode, and also we did local Git repository to our GitHub repository on our machine in order to link them so that we can work on the two repositories concurrently. So that is what we have done so far, and the task that we did was to configure the global configuration, and that's the first skill that you really need, my friend. To configure the global configuration, we use git config --global user.name, where we give the username and the user email address, and we use git init to create Git repository as shown above. So we did create a GitHub repository, and we link them together. We have done the staging where we did the file creations and put them in the staging mode, and then we send the file to the GitHub repository as the final commit. So right now we are going back to our working directory and do some more work. We are now working in the Git environment to cause changes to previous version of the file to create new version. So the task that we are going to do is very simple. It's the third skill that we are going to learn here, and we are also going to learn another skill to rename the file, and we are also going to learn how to restore file back. We did this using the reset, but rest also performed the same task as we did previously. Yeah, we did remove the file from the staging mode and back to the working tree directory, and we can also remove the file from the working tree directory completely. So that is basically what we're going to do now, just to gain familiarity with Git. So we are going to do this right now. Let's go to our Git repository. Let's clear the screen. Control L, and let us bring our repository here. Git repository. We have our file. So right now we are just going to, it's like we are doing revision, doing what we have just done. So let us go to our projects and do something there. Let us increase the height to 100%, and then the font family is the same. Display block, the image transition, and padding is like think of it like indentation. So let's put padding 10 pixel, for example, and then save the changes we have made here. So we have made changes in many lines. You need to note that. Remember, we need to save as desktop, Git tutorial, save. So let's go to some website. What is missing here is the picture. Okay, so let us see the image source. The first one is download. So we need to get this image to our local folder. So where can we get this image from? Let's go to the File Explorer. Now we are in our working directory. File Explorer, desktop, all documents, go to family data, go to videos, go to pictures. So from here, let me say I'm going to bring this image here, Git Heaven. I'm going to copy this image and get download. Let's say I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy these two images and then go to our desktop and our Git tutorial, and then paste the image in our Git repository here because we need to link. So let us change this to sam.jpg. Change the name, rename to sam, to match this name that we have in our system, because we have sam.jpg, yeah. And then download, we can change this to sam1, yeah. Sam1 dot, oh no, sam1.jpg. So we can go back to our Git and then go to there's this image we call Sam, rename, remember we have just put one image here, Git tutorial, yeah, Git tutorial is Sam. It's just Sam, and then we have Sam 1. Let me see this. This is download Sam 1. Remember, we're just changing the image, so we need to rename this to Sam 1. So now we are in our working tree, my friend. We are modifying our files. Yeah. Okay. And then in our JavaScript, we may add paragraph in our HTML. So remember this text. Let us add the break under page break, the break tag under each text. Yeah. The break tag under each text. So this is our text. We are getting this ID and we are splitting text in between here from the JavaScript. So when you go to JavaScript, we can add more text. Let's say document.get by ID. Let's say this one, the ID is some text 4. Things are getting better now. Things are getting better now. Yeah, and then we go to our HTML. Remember, we have text 3 and then ID text 4. Let us copy that and paste it down there, and then put that text 4. Yeah, and then put a break there because we don't want it to be too close to one another. So let us save these changes that we have made. Save. So when you go to Git bash here, remember we are still doing git status. We're in the wrong repository, so let's go to the desktop and then we go to the Git repository, Git tutorial repository, and then run git status, git status. Yeah, those are the files we have modified so far. So my friend, this is the working directory, and from the working directory, the only command that you can do here is just a git status to see what is happening on our Git repository. So we know that there are many changes that have taken place. For example, you see this file has been modified. All of them have been modified. So Git is telling us that change is not staged for commit. So from here, my friend, I have to show you the beauty of Git. So let us go to our task that we need to do now. So this is our Git repository. So remember, so at this mode we are going to learn some new skills, and the first skill that we want to learn from this staging mode is how to add these files to the staging mode using get add. Remember, you can add the file one by one, or you can add all the file at once. So to add file one by one, just give the name of the file there after the space, then you put the name of the file, for example sam .js, and then you press enter, and then you run git status. See, one file is added there, the rest are not added, but we need to add all of them at the same time. So in that case, we need to remove that file from the staging mode back to untrack mode. That's when we use skill number 6. Skill number 6, we need to remove the file from the staging mode back to the untrack mode. We can either use git remove, we can use restore as well. Let's see how we are going to do that. Git. So let's say to restore the file, you type git restore staged, and then you run git status. So everything is gone back to unstaged. To stage it, you say you have to write to stage the file, to put the file to the staging mode, git add, then the name of the file sam.js, and then you run git status to check. So you can see, my friend, one file is staged in the staging mode. To take the file back to untrack area, you just use git restore -- staged sam.js, and then to check again git status, you see sam is gone back and there's no all the files are untracked now. There's no file which is sitting on the staging mode. So you can use restore, and you can also use git remove to unstage the file. Let us see how to do that. So let us add git add sam.js and run git status. So sam is staged again. So let us unstage it using git remove. I'm just showing you skill number 5 and number 6. So let's say git I've shown you number 5 already. This is number 6. Git remove caged file, which is sam.js. So when you do git starter, you will see that sam is deleted. Git restore stage file to unstage, sam is gone back to unstage, as you can see is here. So my friend, that is how to use git restore and git remove. So let us run git status. So we have many files and we have deleted one, and then let us move all of them at once to the staging mode. So git add. Remember, if you are adding only one file, then you put the name of the file there, like sam.js. But we are adding all the files, so space, and then you run git status to check what you have done. You see all the files have been added, so let us commit. So my friend, this is what happens at the staging state, and these are the skills that you really need to learn. That's why I thought it would be nice to go through the staging. We have done all these tasks before, so the next task after staging will be a review. So review, basically we use you know, like git bisect, which I'm not going to do here because it's a bit complicated, but I will do it in one of the videos in the future. And git diff actually is used after committing the message. I will do that definitely. And also git grep command. I think this one is very basic as well. And then git log, obviously we are going to do after commit. So most of these commands for reviewing the version context and perspective are used after committing a message, and the one that can be used consistently for is the get status. You use it all the time. So the skills under this reviewing will be shown obviously after our committing the messages. So yeah, git show, git status. We are running git status, and we have done it. We have been doing it all along, and that is actually the order of the day. So the next thing we are going to do is commit. Committing is like saving everything permanently in our local repository to say that these are the copies of file that we are happy with at this time, subject to change in the future. In the future we can change them, but that version will be kept there until when we don't need it. And that's what it means to commit. So the skills that we are going to learn under commit is just git commit, which is number 14. We will talk about creating branch in the future, but creating branch is very easy. I will show you how to create a branch and switch between the branches at some point, and merging the branches as well, so that will come together with creating the branch. And then git rebase. Git rebase is not something that you really need as a novice user or beginner, but the idea is basically very similar to git branch, but with rebase you need to reapply commits on top of one another and modify the order of the commit the way they appears. So I will do that at some point definitely. And git reset, we have done git reset to remove the file from the staging mode to the untrack mode. So let us actually use git reset. Let us go back to our git. So those are the files in our working directory, working area repository, and we do have everything now staged in the staging mode. As you can see, we have all the file in the staging mode. You just need to run git status once again to see that. So everything is there. Now git reset will help us to take the file from the staging area back to unstaged area. So let us run git reset. Git reset. And state changes after reset. Git status. You can see all the files have gone back to and track, to their initial position, you see. So that is how to play around with this kind of command. But we are in the process of sending them or saving them permanently. So we can send them to the staging area, which is a temporary storage, if you like. So let's do git add period, means you're adding all the file there, and then you run git status, git status, git add, and git status. Yeah, we have brought all of them to the staging area, which is a temporary storage. It's like a cache memory. It's like a memory holding them temporarily there for all of them to be committed. So that is actually going to be our next action, to commit the changes. We are going to save all the changes right now. Let's go to our git and then bring also our repositories, and our repository is there. So we have made all the changes. Everything is in green, meaning that we can now go and commit. So to commit, you use git commit, git commit, then the commit message, let's say our second commit. Yeah, so 6 files changed, 72 insertion. That means we have included 22 insertion. We have deleted 9, you see, 9 deletion. So we have deleted 9 lines and included 22 more. So to check, you just run git log. My friend, you can see the log is showing us what we have committed now as our second commit. The person who has done the committing, which is me, who is the committer, and the date and time, everything. So this is what we have just committed to our local Git repository. Whereas what we have committed to our GitHub repository, which is remote Git repository, you can see they're sitting on the remote on the main origin there, which is the repository outside our local repository, but the head is pointing to our main, which means currently our commit is sitting on our computer. So this is the commit ID, and this commit ID is what we can use to view the history or what happened with our commit. My friend, from here we can run other commands like git show, git. Okay, let me show you how to shorten those commit hash IDs. To do that, you run git log -- one line. You see, we have 2 commits here, and those long IDs, those long commit IDs now have been shortened to this one, and these are done in the system scope. So this is what I need to explain. Remember, the commit messages, the commit message ID is done at the system scope. The author is done at the global scope, and the date is generated at the system scope, and then the commit message is done at the local scope. So you see, when you're working with Git, you will be working in all the scopes, right? So now, if you want to check what we did using that ID, what we did in that commit, we just need to use get diff. Get diff. Then you copy the commit ID. The commit ID, let's say the last one that we did is 591F A8 1F A89. Get diff. So there's nothing done, there's no change. The best thing to see exactly what we have done, let's add the previous commit instead of adding the new one, because the new one will just be like a new commit with no changes. So let's try 76B 4E38. Yes, as you can see, my friend, you can see everything that we have done. You know, the main thing to focus on is the original document and the new document. So the original document for this file starts from -0, and then and 0, 0 updates. But here we start from line 1, the updates is line 8. So that's how to understand this commit. When you go down, you will see the changes that we have done on all. You can see there all the changes that we've done in that commit, and the difference between them is, as I said, is here. That's why we say get diff. So this is the old version and this is the new version. Yeah, that's how to see the difference between the old and the new version using get diff. So to get out from here, you just type Q to quit, and instead of using get diff, you may want to see just the last commit, and to do that you use get show. Get shows just give us the details about the last commit instead of giving the details of all the commit messages. So this is just the last commit that we have done, and get diff allows us to see that. Git status give us what is happening right now, and as we can see, we are sitting on our branch, and the branch, your branch is ahead of origin by 1. So you know, Git is very clever. So we are ahead of origin by 1 commit. That means origin is 1 commit ahead, behind us. So use git push to publish your local commit. As you can see, the Git has detected that we are connected to our Git repository, GitHub repository. So this is the local repository, is connected to the GitHub repository, and is telling us to publish our commits now. So this is a stage whereby if we decide to not publish it, we can keep the committed message locally in our system, and then we can push it next time if we want. But this is a time that we can go ahead and say, you know what, it is time for us to start doing networking, you know, and share our repositories with others. And to do that, we can use get push or get fetch to update, get pull to get update as well. But because we are the ones, or I'm the one who is creating this, I will use git push. Other people will have to fetch it, to fetch to see what I have done. So my friend, that is the skill, and is the last skill that you need to learn. And right now we are going to push it. We are going to push our code to the internet so that we can share it with others. And that is what we are going to do right now again. And we are ready now to commit them finally to the GitHub repository. As you can see here, Git is suggesting that we just need to use push, git push. And we are using git push now because our local repository is directly linked to the global repository already. You can check. Before checking, let us push. You just use git push. My friend, as you can see now, we have pushed some changes to our GitHub repository. We can open GitHub repository to see those changes as well. Let's see. This is our GitHub repository. My friend, as you can see, GitHub repository. We have done 2 commits. The first commit was our first version of the system, and the second commit is what we have just done down, our second commit. And my friend, from here you can see picture that I have brought is also here, and everything is here. This is our web picture. Everything is pushed on the internet, my friend. Let me see. I will definitely have to clear this one at some point, but yes, my friend, we have pushed our work to the GitHub, and we have a copy in our local machine as well. So we can run git status again. As you can see, my friend, on branch main, your branch is up to date with origin main, meaning we are connected to the remote repository, and now we have nothing to commit. Working tree is clean. So my friend, this is how to work locally and work globally. So now I have the local repository here, and it is the same repository that I have in the GitHub, the same version of the file that I have on the GitHub. So let us go to our file here and open the website and see how it looks like. This is the website, my friend. As you can see, I've made some changes. Yes, when you hover, you see the effect of the mouse. This is the change I've made from the previous version to this version. Remember, the previous version had no pictures. Now we have pictures here where we can just hover, you see. So this is the website, my friend, and if you want to learn this code, you can grab it from my GitHub repository there. So I remember I put the break in between here. That's why you're seeing this line now with break. So I dedicate this work to my family, especially my sweetie because she means a lot to me, because she means a lot to me, because she means a lot to me. So thank you for viewing, my friend. This is how to basically link the local repository to the global repository, and you know how to keep your local repository work local in your local repository folder, and linking file to the GitHub repository, which is the remote repository. Just very sorry for being long in this video, but I just wanted you to learn something. So right now we are sharing our Git repository as well as keeping the copy of our work in our in our local machine. So we have achieved our goals in this course of Git. It has been a long marathon though, but I hope you have learned something. If you can view this video over and over again, to learn how to create your own repository. Remember, the target is to create a local Git repository. As I've done here, you need to start by downloading Git program on your local machine, and then you need to create a local Git repository, as I have done. And this is my local Git repository there. This file here is my local Git repository. And then after that, you go and open a GitHub account, and that's what I have done there, my friend. I open my GitHub account, and this is my GitHub account. I open it. After opening a GitHub account, my friend, the next thing I did was to create a GitHub repository, which I also did create inside the GitHub. So I created a repository called some Git tutorial, and then link it. I cloned it to my computer. I created a link to link this GitHub repository to the local repository, and I did that via the link given by the GitHub. And then after that, using GitHub, using Git program after creating repository. So you just use Git remote. Let us use Git remote to see the connection. So that is the connection, is the link between the local Git repository and the GitHub repository. And then after that, I started working on the staging mode, the commit mode. I created files, and then I committed them to the GitHub. And yeah, I'm sharing my GitHub right now with other people on the GitHub, as well as I have the copy on my local machine and the GitHub repository on my local machine. So that is basically what I wanted to achieve. And as you can see, this is my local Git with all the program, all my file. I did share this website with other people, and that is the GitHub repository and GitHub repository. And then I have local Git repository, and then, as I have shown you earlier, I've linked them using this Git website, this Git program. And I've done a lot of commit messages, and yeah, it's fun. You can just practice and practice and practice always. Practice makes perfect. So right now I have local Git repository and I have GitHub repository linked together for me to start doing my work now and share it with you guys. Follow it to create your own one, so that we can start sharing our knowledge, my friend. So thank you for viewing. My name is once again Samuel Ambrose Onen. I like teaching by using the mind map. That's why I had to come up with this picture to give you what I call the paradigms of operation in the Git environment and GitHub. So follow this one all the time when you're creating a working environment for your team, for yourself. Maybe at college with your friends, you can play around with Git and GitHub, or GitHub repositories and Git repositories are the most powerful tools that we need to do our programming. So thank you for viewing. I hope this has been informative, and I will see you in the next video where we are going to start our Java programming language. Now I have my Git repositories. I will be pushing a lot of work inside there for you to to view the codes and to learn. So I will be working on these Git repositories all the time when I'm doing any programming language, because I created this repository just for teaching. So you can follow me up, and please remember to subscribe, thumbs up or down, direct me or teach me where you think I'm not doing well. I will be very happy to welcome any comments from you. So thank you for viewing and happy learning to